All right. So these are just some examples of minimally processed fruits and vegetables, peeled and sliced potatoes that are ready. These can be going into your home, things at the grocery store, and they can also be going into restaurants. A lot of restaurants buy minimally processed materials, so they don't have to peel, shred, slice. So, potatoes can come in a prepared fashion where they can then just do the finalized process, do a quick grating, a quick slicing, a quick French frying, whatever they want to do. But shredded lettuce, that's something you can buy at the grocery store for yourself, or you can buy in bulk bags if you're Taco Bell. Again, slices, sticks, mixed salads, etc. This is just some examples of categories of products that are fairly common. So here's a vacuum sealed mango slices. So it's packaged in a way that they suck all of the oxygen out. It's a vacuum pack. Whole grapes in snack packs. Now this looks like a poor picture since this looks like it's still on the rachis. So to be minimally processed, they will take these out and put them in a fruit cup or something like that. But potato slices, they can be for breakfast potatoes or making French fry, or not French fries, chips or whatever. An example of fresh sliced strawberry processing. You could take, for example, the cultivar Pajaro, which is a very popular variety for the Japanese export market. Harvesting would be hand harvesting or mechanical at the full bright red or pink stage of development, pre-cooling with rapid forced air or possibly hydro pre-cooling with to 7 degrees Celsius, taking anywhere from 8 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the temperature of the product coming in and the type of cooling used. Now, these are going to be sliced. You would never use hydro pre-cooling on strawberries that are going to the fresh market, but for processing, you might do that. Field processing, washing to remove sand and separate the berries. So that's something you might do in the field process. Transportation to the packing house with dry ice at 0 centigrade. Again, some of the steps that would go into a minimally processed strawberry, which is a little different than the strawberries in the clamshell that you take home, and quite a bit different than the strawberries that are going directly into jams, jellies, pies, things like that, which are cooked, sugar added, things like that. They are definitely following a recipe. Then you're going to sort and grade, process, packaging them, different atmospheres. So these are the atmosphere conditions and the weight and other relative humidity, all of the things that are important for packaging, storing at the warehouse, display at retail. Again, you have all of these criteria for this fresh sliced strawberry product. Just an example. This is a retail display of some minimally processed fruits and vegetables. Now it's hard to see in this picture, but these are clamshells on a shaved ice. Close-up of some minimally processed, ready to dip. These are the snack pack products. The weekend Super Bowl pack where you've got some sort of ranch dressing or some other onion dip and all of the selection of minimally processed vegetables around. ready to eat mixtures of watermelon, grape, honeydew melons. So to sum this one up, the change in the family over the past generation, possibly generation and a half, has certainly had huge impacts on what consumers want and what consumers expect. And so the industry has looked very hard for things to satisfy these types of needs, these types of convenience items that are ready to eat or ready to cook. We're going even further now with entire meals in a box that are delivered to your doorstep. And you still get the cooking experience, but cooking time is cut by 3/4 because you don't have to go out and buy all the fruits and vegetables and everything else. And when you finally have everything in a box at your home, or excuse me, and when you have everything from the store to your home, you still have to wash, cut, slice, dice, whatever. None of that is necessary with some of these meals in a box where you prepare them. They've also dovetailed technology, changes in food processing, changes in material science, such as the oxygen transmission rate films that are so precise these days, where you can have such a precise OTR film that you can make millions of bags of salad per week and have high consistency in the rate of oxygen transmission that can keep them fresh. Cut, slice, shredded, or juice forms are very common, but they want these fresh-like characteristics, which require chilled storage to ensure a reasonable life. As soon as you start doing the minimally processed, the timer speeds up. And the only way to keep it from going bad right away is refrigeration, and lots of it. So the minimally processed fresh market has put extra pressure on our energy consumption, our patterns of refrigeration. That is something that we have to look at, think about. How does that impact things? We have gone from a society that does very, 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 very little refrigeration, almost none in the World War II era, to a society that sometimes has 4 refrigerators in the single house. You know, you got your kids with their own drink fridge in their room, and you've got your drink fridge, the one in the garage, and then your main kitchen refrigerator. That's not as uncommon as you might think. 2 refrigerators is really common these days, and big ones at that. Some people have that extra freezer, the big chest freezer filled with meats, enough meat to sometimes last for 6 months. That takes a lot of energy. You go back prior to the availability of refrigeration and the energy consumption, you wouldn't do that. You would, you know, go out hunting, you would get that elk or deer and prepare it. You'd have a feast with the initial meat. Maybe it would be a community thing and it would all be gone, or you would eat a portion of it, maybe let's say 15% of it, and the other portion you would smoke it. And now it will last for several months because you don't have the choice of refrigeration. Anyway, conventional processing methods extend the shelf life of fruits and vegetables longer than minimally processed produce, a lot longer in most cases. So conventionally processed foods like canning can last for months to years. There are all kinds of packages, dried fruits, smoked meats, and other kinds of processing where we have crackers and chips. Chips is just a drying process in hot oil. You've removed the water by cooking them very quickly in hot oil. Now, a French fry, you don't remove all of the water. It's not dry like a chip, so it doesn't have a shelf life. Day-old chips, no problem. Week-old chips, as long as you seal the bag, month-old chips, they're fine. French fries, you eat them hot now or they're crap tomorrow. Why? Because they're not a conventionally processed food. They're just a cooked food. They still have high water content and they lose the characteristics, the sensory qualities that they had when they were fresh. But the conventional processed, tons of shelf life added. Minimally processed, you're actually reducing the shelf life unless you add refrigeration. Many factors affect quality and freshness, including harvesting operations, raw materials, the preparation procedures used, including trimming, cutting, peeling, shredding, et cetera, et cetera. Everything you do along the entire minimally processed chain is going to impact the ultimate quality, shelf life, and consumer acceptance of your product. So that's it for minimally processed food.